trailing threshold, okay, and the trailing stop. Let me ask you a couple questions here, okay? When you're trading, not even with Apex Trader funding, but let's say when you were trading your own live account or anything, when you get into a trade and you place an order, do you watch your P&L while you trade? Like, do you know where you're at during the trade? Do you know whether you're profitable or whether you're losing? Like, do you pay attention to that at all? I would sure think we all do, right? Okay. Or do you just trade all day and at the end of the day, you'll look at your account balance and say, well, I guess I was up today. Or, well, I guess I was down today. I don't know. Or do you watch every single trade you make? Do you look at it right there on the screen in front of you and you know when it's up, you know when it's down? I'm pretty sure you do, because I'm pretty sure every tick for you, your heart's beating good. Every tick against you, it's beating a little faster and you're breathing a little heavier, right? Let's be honest, we all do that, okay? I don't think very many of us, just at the end of the day, get on the phone and call our broker and say, hey, I know where my account balance was this morning. I traded like 100 times today. I see where it is now. Will you go through every trade with me and tell me every one what the profit or loss was? Or what was the highest point of each and every trade or lowest point? You don't need to do that because you know where you were, right? You know the trades you're placing. You know how they were. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? And honestly, your broker's not going to do that for you, are they? Your broker's not going to go through every single trade and walk you through it. Well, you entered this one at this time, so let's look at a chart. Well, you would have got in here and it went up to here. That's your responsibility, right? Your broker is going to say, well, look at your history. Look at your screen. Pull up your trades. We all watch our trades. We watch every trade start to finish. We know what happened during that trade, right? So let me ask you another thing. Do you watch a trade and say, oh, I'm up 10 ticks, I'm up 15 ticks, I'm up 20 ticks, close the trade? Oh, wait, 22 ticks, okay, close the trade. Then do you have a scratch sheet of paper next to your computer where you say, okay, 22 ticks times $5 a tick equals $110, so I'm up $110, let me make a note. Or do you just look on the screen and see your P&L? You don't sit there and manually do that math yourself, do you? Okay, well, I was down 7 ticks, so let me times that. Let me put it on my scratch sheet here. You just look at what's right in front of you. We all do that. That's what it's for. That's why it's there. Okay? So you can do that with your trailing threshold as well. And what we found is that most people are not doing that. Okay? And that's part of the biggest reason of some confusion about, hey, why did I fail this account? Why did this account fail? How did I get stopped out on this account? Okay, so let's talk real quick about static versus trailing. All right, if you look at the packages that we offer, we've got all kind of different packages here, right? Okay, 25, 50, 75, and you see the trailing threshold on each plan is different. Okay, but then down here we do have a 100K static account. Okay, where it's just a static, non-trailing stop of 625. Okay, so that means if you have a $100,000 account, okay, and you have the static account, then your stop is set at 99,375, right? That's the balance you cannot go below. All right, if you go below that balance, 99,375, then you will not pass that evaluation account. Okay, it doesn't move, it doesn't change. And if that's what you're looking for and that's what you want, then that's the account for you. Okay, now the other accounts do have a trailing threshold, meaning the stop moves, the threshold moves up. We're going to talk about that. Well, what are some benefits to that? Well, the benefit to the static is you know right where it is, right? You don't have to worry about keeping track of the trail or anything like that. You know right where it is. But what's the downside to the static? 625 bucks, right? That's it. Compared to some of these others have a trailing threshold, but you start off with $5,000 a room or $6,500 a room, or, you know, $4,000, depending on which package. Okay. So we do offer a static plan. Okay. We also offer the trailing plans. All right. And it's very, very important to understand how the trailing threshold works, because that's the whole point of being able to pass an evaluation account and get yourself a funded paid account, is you have to understand how the rules work. You have to understand how the trailing threshold work. Where is it explained? Well, we cover it in depth in our FAQ. All you got to do is type it in. We've got tons of information in there about it. We've got examples in there about it. Literally on the homepage of the Apex website, over here on the homepage of Apex Trader Funding, the very first video right here, Daryl goes through about
just Ninja,
12 minutes in.
I haven't seen any other company. Cost is $2,500, and this is
not
on the
only does he
evaluation.
talk
After
about
the evaluation,
it,
I'll
he
go over
stops
the
the video,
company.
gets up,
Okay?
and draws out examples for you on a whiteboard.
Start over here.
Okay, to make sure you understand it. All right, and then afterwards,
you just
goes
gotta
back
pick
to
your poison. The end of the day is nice,
shows you all
but
examples
the fact
about
is,
on the whiteboard. Then at the end goes back to showing, you know.
And then one question was, do you have to have
PowerPoint?
Apex investing membership to have Apex Trader funding membership?
There's a lot of information about how the trailing threshold works, okay, and why it works that way. Yes, other companies have different ways of doing it. Some only offer trailing, some only offer static, some only offer end of day, some offer per trade. There's a bunch of different ways, okay? And again, this is our structure. This is how it is set up. So it's very important that you go through and understand how it works, okay? So I want to go through a really quick example with you and show you some examples of how it works. And a video that I recorded earlier today of some live trades, because we've had a lot of confusion about that. People say, hey, how does this work? Hey, why was my account blown? And I don't understand, okay? So I want to go through that with you, because first of all, you do need to understand how it works. But secondly, there should never be a question, because the other big issue we have found is that most people are not following the simple first steps that we've shown and always having Rtrader up. Because in Rtrader, what does it say right here? It literally shows you, okay? And as you're trading and as your profit's going up, and as your trailing threshold's going up, it will update live in front of you, right in front of your face. That's why I asked those leading questions earlier about when you're trading, are you watching it? Are you looking at it right in front of you? Are you seeing your P&L? Then you should also be seeing your trailing threshold. It's always very clear right in front of you exactly where you are. It should never surprise you. It should never come up and bite you in the butt. It should never be like, well, I don't understand. How was I even close to my trailing threshold? It's literally right here, okay? It's literally right there for you to see, okay? So let me walk through a couple of things here, okay? No, this does not show for funded accounts only, Greg. This is for eval accounts, okay? Again, it's literally the first steps that are emailed to you. It's literally the first steps that are in your back office of when you set up Rtrader, and the very next video show you exactly how to monitor that. As soon as you sign up for your evaluation account, you literally have Rtrader right there to be able to show you exactly what your balance is and exactly what your trailing threshold is, okay? Somebody says, please do training videos on Rhythmic software. It's already there. They're already all on the website. They're literally in our FAQs. It's all there, okay? You also want to always, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, you also want to always have Rtrader up, because what happens if your NinjaTrader locks up, you need to close a trade? Rtrader is where you close that trade, okay? And we'll talk about that some more as well. So just a real quick overview, then I want to show some examples. Okay, so we're going to use an example of a $50,000 eval account, which has a $2,500 max loss, right? So that means starting off, we'll have $50,000 in the evaluation account, and our threshold will be $2,500 behind that, which would be 47.5, right? Okay. So let's say you have a trade and you make $500 on the trade. Now your balance is at $50,500. Your trailing threshold will be $2,500 behind that, right? Makes sense? So now it's at 48,000 instead of 47.5. Now, so that's where your trailing threshold is. Your trailing threshold never goes down. It only goes up based on your highest account balance. So now let's say the next trade you actually lose $100. So now the balance in your account went down $100. It's only at 50,400. But your threshold still stays the same at 48,000. Okay? So now let's say your next trade, you're in a live trade. And how many of you had this? You're in a live trade, you make 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, right? It's going up. But then it starts to come back down against you and you exit, right? We all understand that. We've all done that, right? It's going up, 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 up. Say we were up $600. But then it started to come back down against us. We closed it out. So when we closed it out, we were only up $500. We've all been there, right? Well, your trailing drawdown trails to the highest point of a trade, live, open, the highest balance. So now, okay, your balance is at 50,900. Your threshold is going to be $2,500 behind that highest balance while in an open trade. Does that make sense? Now I want to do it a little bit differently here. Okay. Let me just move this over. Okay, we're going to walk through this. This might be a little painful, but if you understand this, it makes all the difference here. Okay. So we're going to use some very, very basic examples. Okay. So somebody says, well, why do you set the trailing like that? It's like a speed bump in front of us. Well, let me ask a question, Greg. If you were going to go start a funding company and you were going to fund other traders, do you want to know that they can be consistent and that they can trade and be consistent and grow consistently and slowly each day? Or that they might be shoot up $10,000, then shoot down $7,000 and shoot up erratic? So the whole point of trader funding is a long-term relationship, showing that you can be consistent. And our big $300,000 account starts off with a $7,500 drawdown. That's huge. Okay. So that's the reason that's there. Okay. I mean, literally some of these accounts are starting you off with a $7,000 drawdown. The point is that way you're not letting something go 10, 15, 20, $30,000 in profit, but not going to be smart enough to take that money off the table. And you're going to let it come all the way back down, right? $20,000 against you. Does that make sense, Greg? I'm not calling you out. You asked a perfectly legitimate question that really set me up here to explain this, okay? Because that's not what we're looking for, obviously, to fund traders. But also it's not really what you want to look for yourself either. You want consistent growth, not erratic as well. Make sense? So I'm going to use a real basic example here because I want you to understand that, okay? So, and this is a basic chart, these are 30 tick charts, okay? So I want to use just a real basic example here. Let's just say that we're starting off, okay, with a $50,000 balance. And so our trailing threshold is at 47,500, right? That's how it is when we first sign up. So we've got $2,500 trail. And again, I'm just using the 50 as an example. So these are big 30 tick charts. Let's say, for example, that you went short right here. Okay. That is not at all the one I want to be using. Let's just say that you went short right here. And let's say that you, at the bottom here, you were up $1,000 in profit. Okay? So you're up $1,000 in profit. So you'd be up, your balance would be at 51,000. Okay? So it went up 1,000. So your trail is going to go up 1,000, correct? Everybody understand that? You went up 1,000. So now this would be at 48,500. Okay? But you didn't close the trade because you had your stop set way back up here. Is that legitimate? People do that, right? Hey, I'm going to take this breakout short, but my stop's going to be back up here above all this mess. So the market went in your direction. You're up $1,000. Therefore, your trailing threshold went up $1,000. But you didn't close out the trade. You let the trade go back against you all the way back up here to a stop. Right? So not only did your account balance give back this 1,000, but it might have gone another close to 500 against you, right? So now you're down to 49.5. Your balance is 49.5, but your trail is still 48.5, right? Because it only trailed with your highest point of profit, your highest account balance. Is everybody with me so far right there? Does that make sense? I see some questions coming in. I'm not going to be answering questions right now. I'm only going to be focused on this. Okay, so please follow along. Okay, so do you understand now that what just happened right there? You now only have $1,000 difference between your balance and your trailing threshold of where you could get knocked out. See that? You started with a $2,500 one, but now you only got $1,000 in there. Does everybody see that? And does everybody understand why? I will answer a question right here. Does anybody not understand that right there? You went short, you're up $1,000, so your account was up to 51,000. That means your trail went up 1,000 as well, to the highest point. But then when the market started going against you, your trail stayed there because your profit didn't go up. But you didn't close to way up here, so now your balance is there. Okay? So let's say you ride out some of this crap, you wait for another breakout, okay? And let's say that you take this right here short again. Like, okay, boom, I'm going to take this short. And let's say you made $2,000 on that move. Okay? So now your account is at what? 51,500. So right now, live right here, your account is the highest it's been yet, correct? 51.5. So your trail, which is $2,500, is going to move to $2,500 behind that highest point. Correct? So now your trailing is at 49,000. Everybody with me? But the market starts to go back against you here, right? Let's say you got in somewhere right in here, you went short. This pullback was almost a 50% retracement, right? And let's say you get out. So even though you were up, you know, $2,000, you waited for the market to pull back against you almost $1,000 before you got out. Well, your trail is still at 49, but now your account balance is at 50,500. Follow? So market makes that pullback. You think it's going to go short again. You get back in again here. Okay. And let's say you made another $2,000 in this big rundown. So now your account's at 52,500. Okay. Where's your trailing going to be? 50,000, right? Everybody understand that? But again, you didn't take your profits. You didn't close out when you're ahead because you wanted to keep going and going and going, hoping to, get it all done today. And the market pulls all the way back against you to right here, which is about close to where you would have got in. And then you decide to get out. Right? Everybody with me? It pulled all the way back here, close to your entry. So you just gave up $2,000. You're about to where you were. So where's your balance now? 50,500. Because you just lost $2,000, right? But did your trail move at all? No, because it only trails at your highest. It trails behind your highest account value. Make sense? So now how much room do you have? You got 500 bucks. Right? See that? So, but what are you thinking in your head? Well, I was up. I did good trades. Look, boom, I made all this money short. Boom, I made all this money short. Right? But now, you've only got 500 bucks there. Okay? See that? So, what happens here? So the market pulled all the way back up here. Let's say you decided to go short again. Okay? You're like, all right, fine. I'm going to go short again. Just made $1,000. Okay? So now my balance is what? 51,500. Does your trail move? No, because you've been at 51.5 before, and it moved. Your trail's not going to go up until you go higher than this highest point you've been at. So your trailing is still at 50,000. But then what happens right here? Because once again, you didn't close out. Came all the way back up against you to your entry. You didn't close out, and it came all the way up here. And you lost $1,600. And now your balance is 49,900. Where was your trail? Yeah. It's failed eval. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand that? But in your head, or what we've heard a lot of, is I was never anywhere in any trade was I ever down $2,500 at one time. Something's wrong. The system messed up. There must have been an issue. There must have been a tech problem. You need to fix this. I was never down $2,500 at one time. Do you understand now how that works? Okay. How many of you have ever been in a trade? Maybe you were trend trading, right? Like right here. How many of you ever said, okay, I'm trend trading. So the market went up, then it came down, and I got in about right here. So I got in and I went up, so I was in profit, right? Profit, 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 profit. So if this was your very first trade, as your profit's going up, what's happening with your trailing threshold? It's going up as well, correct? Because it's following behind your growth. How many of you have ever been in a trade like this? Oh, I'm going up, 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 up. Oh, wait, now it's coming against me. Now it's coming against me. Now it's coming against me. Oh, let me get out. So you got out of that trade. At one point in this trade, you were up $200. But when you closed the trade, you were down $100, right? But when you're up $200, guess what went up $200? Your trail. When you closed it negative $100, your balance went down $100. So your balance went down 100 towards your trail. Your trail went up 200 towards your balance, closing a gap. Does that make sense? So then you do it again. Here's this pullback, reversal bar, market starts to go up. Okay, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up. Now I'm getting higher than where I was. So I'm up another 100, another 100, another 100, another 100. Your trail is going up, 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 up. But then this market pulls back. Boom, 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 boom. And you end up getting out about where you got in. So you didn't make anything on that trade, but did have a trailing threshold go up, 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 up. That makes sense. Yes, it's unrealized profit to the highest point. We've all been there, right? We're in a trade that's going up in our favor, but then it goes down against us and we close out for less money. Okay? No, Jeff. Someone says, I thought the trail only updated the end of the trading day. That is literally nowhere ever anywhere on our site. In fact, the exact opposite is what's said. And the reasons why we don't do that. It's literally not that. And I'm not judging you, Jeff. A lot of people have been involved with other trading company, other trader funding companies in the past that had end of day drawdown, or that had intra trade drawdowns, or they all work a little different. So a lot of times people just assume this is how it works, so let me start trading. And then when they get kicked out, they're like, what's going on? This isn't right. Yeah, it is. This is our system. And it's literally on the homepage of our website, literally on our main video. Literally, Daryl stops the video, draws it out, and explains it on a whiteboard. Okay? Like, there is no reason to ever question it or not understand what happened, unless either you don't understand how the trailing threshold works with Apex, or because you weren't using Rtrader. Let me show you. Okay, so this was a video I took today, this afternoon. Okay, now I'm going to skip through a lot of this video, but I want you to see it. All right, this video I did with a $300,000 account. Okay, and you can see it right here. You see this account number 32? Do you see how the balance is changing right here? Okay, well, I got in the trade back down here. Okay, and obviously I'm looking for it to go long. And as my profit goes up, okay, I want y'all to watch what happens right here. See this auto liquidation? That's my trail. I don't ever have to wonder where it is. I don't ever have to calculate anything. I don't ever have to be surprised. It's not like a snake came up and bit me out of nowhere. I always know where I'm at in relation to that. I always know how close my balance is to where I could get knocked out. So I want y'all to watch as I speed up the video. You see where that, look, where was this number before? See it, like 293,881. Now look what the market's doing. See my profit right here, about $900. Now as I speed up the video, see we're at 293,881. Oh, market went up. Now, see my balance is higher and you see the trailing's higher. And you can watch and see that number moving. As the profit goes up, the trail goes up. You see it? You don't ever have to wonder. There's no question here. If you use Rtrader like we explained to use, you always have this up with your trading. You see exactly where your evaluation account balance is. You see exactly where your threshold is. You see where your trailing stop is. Okay? Do you guys understand that? How many of you, show of hands, how many of you have failed an eval account, it got kicked out, you had to go pay to reset it, and you were like, well, what happened there? I didn't know I was close to my trail. How did that happen? And how many of you did not use Rtrader so that it's right in front of you? Do you see how easy that is now? It's literally right there, and you don't have to wonder and calculate it. It does it all for you. You don't have to get with the Apex help desk and go, what happened? Walk me through every trade. Because I'm telling you right now, we're not going to do it. We can't do it. We can't walk you through all your trades. You're the trader. It's every trader's responsibility to know how the trailing works, to know where you are in your trades, and to have Rtrader up here that does it all for you. Okay? I can show you how you can go pull up all of your trades if you ever want to go through it yourself, but the Apex Trader Help Desk, Trader Funding Help cannot do that for you. Okay? They cannot go through and explain to you why. They cannot go through 100 trades with you today and say, well, this trade you were in went up this amount this time. You can watch it right there. Now I want to show you some here. This is very, very important because I'll tell you this. I get it. I get how emotional, how upsetting, and how stressful it is to fail an evaluation account. I've done it in the past. I've done it and it pissed me off and it frustrated me, right? And so I get it, guys. And I also understand this. And I want to show this to you. I'm going to speed this video up. Did y'all see this market today? We're just kept going up, up, up. See, like, so right here, I was up like $3,800. Then it just kept going. Okay. This was another account I was in short at the same time. Notice that one, this one here. You see it? What does this balance say right here? 292,909. Where would I get kicked out? 292,500. I see it coming. It's close. Should that be a surprise to me? Should I wonder where that came from? See this? This account was short. The balance is down to 292,709. If it hits 292,500, that account is dead. That's not a surprise. That's not out of nowhere. I can literally see it. I see to the tick, to the dollar, how far away I am from it. I don't need to let it kill out and then go yell at someone about it. Do I? I can see it. What can I do right there? I can let it go and I can just reset the account and start over. I can close it out. I can reevaluate my trade plan to say, I'm only a couple $100 away from killing this account. Maybe it's not smart for me to go in at 25 contracts next time if I've only got $200 before it's dead, right? Or maybe I should just scalp. Or maybe, right? But okay, so this account's going to die in a minute and you're going to see it die. But I want us to focus on this one above it. 306,000. Now the threshold is at 298,881. Everybody see that? Now watch over here my profit. Sure wish this would have been a live trade today. Okay, so real quick, that short one went below the threshold, so it's dead. But forget about that one. Now where I'm at, I'm up like 9 grand. See how this trailing threshold is growing as well? It's right in front of me. To the dollar, I can see exactly where it is. Okay? Now look, I'm up like almost $11,000. Sure wish that would have been live trade today, huh? Or live funded. So my balance here is 310,000. See how the trail's gone up? 303, because it's trailing $7,500 behind my highest account value. So now let's look. Market comes down, market comes down, market comes down, 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 down. Now I'm only at 7,500 in profit. Down, down. Get that out of the way. Down. Notice my trailing threshold hasn't moved, right? because it's trailing me from my highest point. What's coming down is what? My balance. So remember, with this $300,000 account, what did I start off with? How big of a trailing threshold did I have? Yeah, $7,500. How much do I have right now between my balance and where I'll get kicked out? About $1,700, right? Everybody see that? Why? Because I let it go way, 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 way up, and I didn't get out of it. I let it come way, 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 way down. See? And it keeps coming, and it keeps coming, and it keeps coming, and it keeps coming. Now where am I? My balance is 305,026, and all it's got to do is hit 304,031, and I'm out. Do you see that? Out. So then what happens? If you're not paying attention, if you don't understand how the trailing threshold works, or if you're not watching it right here in Rtrader, show of hands, how many of you have not been watching Rtrader? It's a lot of hands. But if you're not watching this, what are you thinking to yourself right now when all you see is that you're up $5,600 in profit? You're like, well, damn, I was up more earlier, but I'm doing great. This is where it becomes a mental screw with your head mental thing. Because you're looking at this going, man, I could have made more, but I'm a trading god. I'm a killer. I'm up $5,600. How the hell can Apex Trader Funding tell me that I just failed an evaluation and got kicked out? I'm up $5,600. I can't tell you how many times we've heard that in the help desk. Why did you knock me out? I was up $5,600. I was never down 7,500. Because on this account, this is a big 300,000 account, I got a trailing threshold of 7,500. And they'll call the help desk, they'll call the phone lines, they'll yell, scream, and cuss at my people, which let me tell you right now, that happens, I will close your account myself. There will not be that. Okay? We're all professional here, we're all grown up here, we don't need to yell and scream and cuss. But in your head, you're going, something was wrong with the system. Because I'd never lost $7,500. I'm up $5,600. Look, it's right here. I get that feeling because I've been through it myself. I get it. But do you guys now understand? You actually did let it come down back against you almost $7,500 to the point you're about to get kicked out. Even though technically right now, this moment in this trade, you're up $5,600 in profit, you're actually way down from where it was. And it trailed. Does everybody get that right there? Because I've seen this numerous times. I was up thousands of dollars, but you claimed that I was down and hit my threshold. I never saw this say negative 7,500. In fact, it said positive 5,600. Do these examples help clarify it to anyone? Is there anyone here that, okay, some light bulbs. Now I get it. Now I understand how it works. And wow.
Order filled.
Boom. See it? Balance got to 303,671, which is lower than the threshold of 304. It killed the account. It closed out those trades. Over. See it? Okay. And again, if you just follow the training setup, and literally just have up, first of all, yes, you got to understand how it works. Secondly, just have up Rtrader and you'll always know to the dollar where it is, and you never have to worry about it. You never have to wonder. You never have to be surprised. And you never have to call the help desk and ask them what happened, because they're not going to go through it with you. It's your responsibility to know. If you want to go through it, all you've got to do is open your, all you got to do is look at your orders, or all you got to do is open up NinjaTrader, and you can go right here to orders and see all your orders. And you can look at the exact time you
Order
got
filled.
in, exact time you got out, looked at during that time, how high did the profit go. The chat box, the phone, the Apex Trader Funding Help Desk is not going to go through all the hundreds of trades with you to walk you through exactly when you were up, when you were this. That's each trader's responsibility to follow along and do that, and to follow along in Rtrader and have it. Okay? So that's how that works. Now, I want to show you another example. Same day here, earlier today. So this is another account, and I was going long. You see this?
Order filled.
Okay. So this account, okay. Hold on here. I want to show you a little bit different example. Okay. So right here. So this was a $50,000 account. You see the balance. You see the trail. You see the market's going up. See how the trail is going up, because it would have been at 47.5. Now it's at 47.9. Okay. It's going up. Now, market starts to go down. Okay. Now the market goes way down. So my balance is here. If it gets down to here, I get kicked out. Okay. So kind of teeters around, teeters around. So let me pause this real quick. Because we had this profit, because the market shot up and we had this profit long, what did that do to the trail? It raised up the trail, right? The trail went up. Now when the market's coming way down, this is another thing that messes with your head. You think, well, I've got $2,500 trailing stop, and right now I'm only down $595. Well, but you've got to take into consideration times that you've been up and your trail. So look, your balance is 48.7. You're going to get kicked out at 47.9. How much room do you have here? About 800 bucks? But you're thinking, if you're not watching Rtrader, you're thinking, I'm only down like 600 bucks. I'm good. You cannot just look at what you currently are right now. You have to look at the whole picture and the trail. And you don't have to sit here and worry about it and map it all out. Just look in Rtrader. Okay? Because as it's coming down and coming down and coming down, if I get to 47,966, I'm out. Right now I'm at 48.3. I'm really darn close. Should I be surprised if it happens? Should I wonder what happened? How did this happen? No, it's right in front of me. It's all right there. Okay? Am I beating a dead horse now? You guys get this? Because this is a big, big thing that comes through. It's a big thing we get a lot of. And it should never be a question, never be a surprise why the account failed, how you hit your trailing drawdown. You must have an understanding of how it works, and you have to just use Rtrader right in front of you. Okay? The tools are right there. It's not that complicated just to have it up. Okay? And again, the help desk and the live chat doesn't have any other information available to you. If you say, hey, why did this happen? It's right there in front of you. You have the information. If you want to go back through and look at all the trades yourself, you can do it on your own NinjaTrader. We do not do that for you. Okay? Every trader is responsible to have an understanding of it, be using Rtrader, and if you have a question, you can go back through your NinjaTrader. Okay, so, but again, Rtrader and Rhythmic Trader tracks all this. The Apex Funding Help Desk does not track all this. It's tracked in Rhythmic and Rtrader. It's all right there, easy for you to use. Again, if you have questions, rewatch this video about how the trailing threshold works. Also, go to the home page of our website and watch Daryl's video about how the trailing works and how he maps it out on the whiteboard. Okay, and then there's tons of information in our FAQ as well. Okay, so I hope that was helpful there to you. All right, so very simple there. I think you've got it. Should never be any problems or questions. That's how it works. So let's talk about another thing.